So here we are with the brand new Maserati MC20. MC stands for Maserati Corsa, 20 for the year 2020. Not only is this car the beginning of a new era for Maserati, but also a strong departure in our design philosophy for Maserati going forward. As always, it all starts with what I think is one of the most iconic badges in the industry, the Maserati Trident. Beautifully framed by this interesting grille that brings together the design philosophy of the very clean, hand-sculpted upper of the car with a very much computer design, purely functional, almost raw engineering lower of the car, bringing these two worlds together. Beautiful sculpture, but also performance-oriented engineering. So the design philosophy, of course, continues on the side of the Maserati MC20. What you see here is a very beautiful, hand-sculpted, very pure and timeless upper shell of the car. And at the same time, in contrast, we have a very computer-designed, engineering-led, almost raw performing surfaces on the lower part of the car. The idea behind is that on the upper part, we really want to purify the car. We really want to only focus on the essential. We want to avoid distraction. Normally, air intakes get excessively celebrated. On this car, as an alternative, we offer a design that is very pure, where air intakes are not the main protagonist, but it's actually the proportion and the sculpture of the car. But at the same time, of course, we offer the eye some very iconic Maserati design elements. It starts, of course, with the Trident, framed by our typical triangular C-post. And of course, we also have the three portholes, which normally on a Maserati you would find on the front fender, as it is there to help cool the engine. But since, of course, the V6 is mid-engine mounted, we have it right here next to the engine. Another very iconic element on the car are the wheels that are inspired by dramatic, iconic designs of the past in the Gran Turismo lineup, for example, but also inspired by the birdcage concept car. So of course, proportions are the most important part about every Maserati we design. The MC20 is no exception. It already starts with a width of almost 2 meters, but on top of that, we use graphic elements like these very slim, very horizontal taillights that further enhance the width, the perceived width of the car, and therefore the proportion. You also see that the ratio of carbon fiber to upper shell has increased to signify the business end of the car, the performing part of the car, with exhaust, with cooling, with aerodynamic floor features. A very cool technology part of the car is what you see here, an additional rear view camera, which in addition to the normal rear view camera that you already know from your car, provides an image to the rear view mirror. So even though you're sitting in a mid-engine car, you will always have a very unobstructed view of what is behind you. And another very cool feature is this abstract Trident that we use to cool the engine compartment of excessive heat, giving the car a very iconic and very characterful detail. Every project starts with a package. Every project starts with what we call the Y0 line. The Y0 line is what defines the silhouette. It's the center line of the car. It defines the shape of the cockpit. It defines the approach of the engine compartment. And for a car like the MC20, most importantly, it also defines the aerodynamic characteristics. And because we were able to create the perfect Y0 line for the MC20, we are able to avoid any additional need for a spoiler, which again helps us with our design philosophy of remaining pure and timeless and avoiding any unnecessary distraction. One of my favorite elements on the Maserati MC20 are the very dramatic doors that open in supercar-worthy butterfly style. But besides the dramatic look it offers, there's really mostly a functional reason we opted for this choice. And that is the ease of ingress and egress with this wide opening, and also to allow the customer to truly enjoy the beauty of the engineering part of this car, the carbon fiber top. Once you're in the interior of the Maserati MC20, you will see that this is all about keeping your eyes on the road, all about avoiding distraction, but also all about absolute cabin space and comfort. This car is racetrack ready, but at the same time will give you the space and the comfort and the amenities and the technology to go the long distance travel. You will see very pure shapes, very pure form. You'll see that the center console is moved very low, very much out of the way, only housing the most important features, which is the drive mode selector, which is the selector to change between manual and drive, and the park, of course. Everything else is remaining very, very pure, and you can operate the rest of the car all from your fingertips and the steering wheel with all the controls, and of course the Maserati iconic pedal shifters.
The 2021 Maserati MC20 is a mid-engine supercar. The MC20 is considered a spiritual successor to the MC12, the company's first full-blown sports car in almost 15 years. Powered by 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged V6, 621 horsepower, and 538 pound-feet of torque, paired to 8-speed automatic transmission with rear-wheel drive, and sprint 0 to 60 in just 2.9 seconds. Top speed, 202 miles per hour. The MC20's dash comes wrapped in leather, and there's an MC20 badge, with an Italian flag on the passenger side. The MC20 doesn't have a regular center stack, with just a 10.25-inch infotainment screen attached to the dashboard.
To understand the origins of the engine of the MC20, we need to learn about the start of the adventure that led to the development of its innovative combustion system. The project began in 2015, linked to the pre-chamber technology developed for the F1 engines. A small team of colleagues designed and developed the prototype to evaluate the system potentials. As soon as the first prototype ran at the dyno, we realized that it was a success. The enthusiasm used to present the data cannot be mistaken. The first test car with the new engine arrived 2 years later, to add the thrill of driving the new version to the initial enthusiasm. From that point on, the effect was viral. This engine was going to be the engine to build. The initial team was then expanded and integrated with the propulsion system organization under the leadership of Gianluca Pivetti, with the aim of finding out whether an F1 technology could be adapted for use on production car, where you only have to miss a certification, emission or drivability target to slow down or even cancel the development of the whole project. Confirmation that the idea was feasible came in 2017, with filing of the international patent, and in January 2019, when finally, in response to the result presented, we were awarded the budget requested for the industrialization of the new family of V6 engine with the new technology exclusively for Maserati. Maserati was once again going to build its own engine, 100% made in Modena. First objective was MC20. But which engine are we talking about? To answer this, let's start from the car which will equip this engine. MC20, standing for Maserati Corsa 2020. Elegant and comfortable to drive like all Maserati cars, but at the same time high performance, compact and extremely sporty. Every single requirement was fulfilled by the new 90 degrees V6 engine designed by the Maserati in-house high-performance propulsion team. The mid-mounted rear engine, with a dry sump layout. The favorite solution for this kind of supercar is a V6 twin-turbo with a dual injection system and a displacement of 3.0 liters. A compression ratio of 11:1, combined with a stroke of 82 mm and a bore of 88 mm, enables the engine to deliver 730 Nm of torque and a peak power output of 620 horsepower at 7,500 rpm, with specific fuel consumption of less than 290 grams times kilowatt-hour. Without a doubt, the core of the engine is the innovative twin-spark pre-chamber combustion system, composed substantially of three main components. The first one, the injection system, a combination of port, injection and direct injection with a fuel feed pressure of 350 bars, which has the aim to reduce noise at low revs, lower the emission level and improve specific fuel consumption. The second one, the pre-chamber, Basically, a combustion chamber placed between a central spark plug and the conventional combustion chamber, to which it's connected by a series of specially shaped holes. The last one is the side spark plug, a standard spark plug that provides backup to ensure smooth engine combustion in operating conditions when the use of the pre-chamber is not necessary. But let's take a more detailed look at the combustion. Near the top dead center, the main spark plug ignites an air-fuel mixture injected previously by the piston compression stroke in the pre-chamber, triggering a pilot combustion, which is then propagated into the main combustion chamber via a series of properly designed jets. Observing this phenomenon from the outside of the pre-chamber, you would see a series of fire crests emerging from the jets of the pre-chamber instead of the traditional flame front propagating from the spark plug. The tip of the crests will then trigger multiple ignition areas, providing much faster, more uniform, more efficient combustion than with a conventional gasoline engine. So to sum up, the benefits of the pre-chamber system are a more efficient combustion and a less tendency to knock. These enable us to achieve an impressive improvement in terms of efficiency, which can then be used, depending on the application, to increase the performances, to obtain a better fuel economy, or for a combination of the two. However, these advantages are nothing new for the expert in the field. Similar results have been achieved in the past on experimental engines, but their development has always been halted due to a series of problems with the combustion system itself. On the one hand, this provides the benefit already mentioned before, but on the other, it suffers from problems of instability at low loads and noise level that impair its potential for use on road cars. It's in solving those very problems that our team has made the difference, as we are the first to develop hardware contents and engine control strategies that would maintain these original features unchanged while still meeting all the noise, stability and comfort requirements of a road car usage. Team competencies and the high degree of integration between simulation and experimental test on system components enabled us to work efficiently during the engine design process to achieve our goals, finalize the development and proceed with the product industrialization. On the company's part, this process demanded a huge investment in terms of time and resources for the radical modification of its own plant to create the new engine development hub dedicated to the 100% made in Modena family of engines. Here we are talking about a whole new set of engine dynos, emission test dynos, inertia test benches, workshop and engine assembly areas, right through the powertrain test bench, a special test area used to develop and fine-tune the powertrain control strategies directly on the car. Last but not least, the production line. With such high technology standards, it was natural to choose the historic Via Menotti plant as the production hub to maintain a direct link with the engineers who had done the development work since the first day. The assembly line will have the honor of producing the engine that will be the first of a whole new family of innovative propulsion units, which on one side will be used in the entire range of Maserati vehicles, while on the other will bring the Tridente back into the world of racing, where the century-long Maserati story all began.